In this vlog, meal deal hacks and how to be emotionally destroyed by a teacher. Hello, Altakir here. My Instagram story, I asked you guys, give me some deep questions to answer, and you guys delivered. So in this vlog, we're going to be answering some of those questions, doing some shout outs, and hopefully you feel like you get to know me a little bit more. So without further ado, let's go. Finn Malone 121 wants to know, what's my most favourite song that I've ever released? When it comes to my real music, my favourite song that I've ever released is Colourless, just because it is such a raw and emotional song, and it's all about identity and discovering yourself and finding your own labels and who you want to be. And I feel like that is a message that's resonated to a lot of the people who've listened to that song. I often get messages from people saying they really appreciate that song and helped them get through something. So even just knowing that that song has had that effect on people makes it really special for me. That is the goal of music, is to make stuff that affects people and makes them feel a certain way. And I feel like Colourless, we definitely did that. When it comes to TikToks, the FYP song is probably my most favourite TikTok song just because it's so stupid and annoying. Angel McConnell wants to know, not really deep, but if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing instead? For me, I'm actually a software developer full-time alongside doing all the music stuff, which means I write code for a living. And as part of doing that, that means I often have to make creative decisions in terms of what does a website look like, what does the code behind the scenes kind of feel like. When it comes to music, it's very much a similar sort of thing. And I think I'm the sort of person who's happiest when I get to express myself creatively through a medium. So that's why when I was younger and I was growing up, I used to make video games, I used to do animation. So I like making stuff where I get to express a part of me through that. So any job where you have to do something aimlessly and you don't get to put your own spin on it or put your own energy or thoughts into it is something that I really don't like. So I couldn't do something that's really, really repetitive. What would I be doing if I wasn't doing music? Probably some other kind of creative thing like video games, or maybe voice acting would be pretty cool. Yeah. We've got an important question here from school here. This is a deep one. What's your go-to £3 meal deal? And if you're not from the United Kingdom, a meal deal is basically where you go to the supermarket and you'll get like a sandwich or salad or something like that with a snack and then a drink. I've got a funny story about this one. I used to work at a company called O2, which is kind of like a phone provider. And on my personal phone, I used to get like a code for like a reduced meal deal, and I had a business phone and I used to get a reduced code for a meal deal. The point is, I had lots of opportunities to get cheap meal deals, and not only would I go to like the local WH Smith to get some meal deals, I would then go down the street and get some more meal deals as well, all at like a very reduced price, and stockpile on these things, because I was basically living on the poverty line as like an intern that year. I had like no money. I was like, I need to stockpile on these meal deals. And the principle, even to this day, is always the same. In terms of meal deal choices, you always go for the most expensive supermarket chain you possibly can go for and get the most amount of sandwich or salad for your buck. To summarize, all you need to know, reduce the profit margin of the supermarket as much as possible and get the most amount of sandwich for your face. Just gonna pause these questions for a second. If you haven't liked, subscribed, and rung the bell for notifications yet, then you're missing out on a treat. So make sure you go do that, and let's continue. Okay, on to our final question. We've got a double question here from Millie X Focard, who wants to know, what is my worst school experience and what is my best school experience? Okay, so let's start off with the best and finish with the worst. Best school experience, I mean, as a musician and music creator, it probably has to be when I've done like performances in front of people. I still haven't done anything as live or performy since then. So that's always gonna be a very fond memory that I've got. In terms of worst experience at school, I used to have this science teacher who I got to know like quite well, because I was a nerd. When I had to wait for my school bus or train or whatever it was to be a little bit late or something, I used to like stay after class in science and used to do a bit extra homework and get it done so I wouldn't have to do it when I get home. And I used to like have a chat to the science teacher. We became sort of quite friendly, like sort of used to chat about like a lot of things. And I have no idea why I did this. But one time, he used to go on runs, by the way, like near the school. And at lunchtime at one point, I thought as a joke, because I guess I misinterpreted how I'd got to know this guy. I thought he'd find it funny. He was running with a lot of his other like, I don't even know if they were teachers, just other like people his age, I guess, like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. And it was like quite funny because they were just kind of running, and you know, you can imagine your teacher just going for a run with a bunch of other people. It's quite funny to watch. And as a joke, I thought I'll just quickly go run alongside and go, hey! And oh my God, he did not take it well. Literally, I afterwards came back into the classroom and he was like, why did you do this thing? And I was like, ah! And basically, I don't think I fully emotionally recovered after making good friends with science teacher. And then, I kid you not, he literally never spoke to me again after that. Like, other than when he used to have to be like, okay, or like, you know, say like basic things. It completely wrecks any friendship I had with him. Still, to this day, I think, I wish I hadn't been such an asshole. And I wish I could, like, in my like more adult state now, I wish I could almost be like, please forgive me for being an idiot. But we all make mistakes when we're younger, and yeah, I don't know if I've ever quite emotionally recovered from that. So there we go. Hopefully you feel like you learned a little bit more about me. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, and you're always welcome to DM me about my music and my content. And thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye-bye.